Hey guys, this is Tepco Cycle Repair. Today I'm going to be reviewing a carburetor for a TS400 Stihl. This is this is an eBay carburetor. The carbs are expensive, and rebuild kits are expensive, sometimes hard to find. So some guys have been getting these carburetors and having good luck with them. So I'm going to throw one on and see how it does. This is, of course, this one has the high and low, where the stock one only has the high. Everything else looks in the same place. The brand is, see if I can get that to focus here. Hawaii. Alright, so we also got in the kit, it comes with all your air filter pieces, the main air filter, the pre-air filters are in there. Comes with a fuel line, comes with a new fuel filter, and these spark plug, little China spark plug. Alright, so I'm going to pull the carburetor off, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so first we're going to take the air filter off. Real simple. It's air filter cover. Air filter's right here. I'm going to hit that in just a second. I'm going to take the top cover off. T25. Get in there. All right, we have the throttle mechanism on the top. All right, I'm just going to hook this right here so it stays in focus. You can kind of see right there. Just pop that out. Done. Pull the top off. Alright, top's off. So then we're going to take the air filter off. We got new air filters for that. We're going to take the this is the pre-filter right here that comes off. Okay, we got a new one of those. We're going to take the air filter base right here. We're going to take that off. All right, so I took the vent line off right here, and then I'm going to take the 2.8 millimeters that are inside in here. And these two hold the carburetor on. So we're going to take one of those off right here. These are just 8 millimeters. All right, then we got two more T25s down here. And then when we take this off, we're going to have the vent for the tank. Alright, so we're just going to pull that up out of there, okay? The whole rubber piece came off, but stick that back in. That's the breather for your tank, alright? So now the carburetor can come off. For this right here, you're just going to rotate it out. Alright, so it just has a hook like that, right there. Alright, it's got a hook. You're just going to so I'm just unhooking it out. All right, so that's out of the way. So now here we are at the carburetor. Take the carburetor off. We got a gasket right here. All right, gasket does not come with the kit, so be careful with that. Pull the carb off. When we pull the carb off, we're going to be taking out the fuel line, which is right here. The fuel line goes underneath. All right, and it's going to hit the pulse line that's underneath. All right, so on the new carburetor. All right, here's the pulse line right here. Okay, this is on the bottom, so if you leave that on the way it is, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time getting it off. So we're going to yank the fuel line off first. You can just grab it and pull it off. Okay, so I take that off and just move it out of the way like that. All right, so now that's out of the way, and the carburetor will just come off. Okay, so there's a pulse line that we're talking about. And you can see these carburetors, comparing them to the replacement carburetor. Okay, here's the two carburetors on the bottom for comparison. All right, here they are here. Top. They're essentially the same. This is metal and this is plastic on that one. But everything else is, you know, same stuff. Should work just fine. We do have to swap this choke over, so I'm going to do that quick and then we'll put it back together again. Alright, so to get this choke lever off, it's pretty tight on here. Take a needle nose plier. Just get it underneath the bottom part of it right there. Alright, and I'm just going to use this to pry it off of and just kind of force it up like that and it'll come off. Alright. Alright, there we go. So now on the new one, to put it on the new one, I'm just going to take a little bit of grease on there to help it slide on. Okay, now you can see there's like kind of a half moon right there. We have to make sure that goes on evenly. Alright, so this is hard to get on here. You want to make sure that it's pointing the right direction. So if you look at if you look at the blade right here, the butterfly that's going to shut the choke on and off, put this point on the choke the same level as that, okay, the same direction, and then go ahead and just tap it on. Now support the other side right here. Make sure you support that on something solid and just give it some light taps to get it on. There you go, and you can feel it bottom out. You can hear it. All right, so now our choke is set up. All right, so let's reassemble. Real simple. All right, so we're going to pull the fuel line out of the way. Put the new carb on. It's going to slide into the pulse line on the bottom. I'm going to put the fuel line on. It's hard to see, it's dark in there, but I'm just sliding it on. So, all right, fuel line is on, pulse line is on, breather line up on top. Okay, this spring right here, this spring is the spring that holds the choke so it doesn't just flap around. So this is going to go on. All right, gasket on first. Okay, so now our choke, okay, put that line back on there, right there. And now our choke is controlled, you know, like it should. So we got the two 8mm to put inside here. We also have our the tank breather we're going to put in. Whenever you're working with rubber stuff, I just like to put a little bit of grease on it so that we don't have any trouble with it tearing up anything. So we're going to put a little bit of grease on there just so it slides in easy. Slide that back into the top of the tank. That's in. So here we got our two 8mm. And then we got our two T25s we're going to put in. Go easy if you're using a tool like this. Don't just go jacking them in there. Make sure you take your time and make sure that they are threaded in right. All right. Now we're going to tighten the two 8mm. This is what seals the carburetor, so make sure these are tight, but don't crank them on until you break things. All right, so we have our new air filter. All right, little screen that goes in there. Not bad for aftermarket, seems to fit okay. We're going to put our new air filter in. It came with the kit. Right there. Okay. Then we have our four T25s here. Hold that in place. if you don't hold the trigger down on those, blasting away at it, it doesn't make it too tight, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, we got our new pre-filter here. We take the old one out. The new one here. It's got a hole in the center, and it's got a hole over here for this breather. I don't know that this one has to be all the way through, but let's get it on there. There we go. All right, so it looks something like that right there. Got both of them sticking through, no problem. All right, but we don't put that on until we put the cover on. So now let's get the cover, put the cover back on. We also have the, now when you put in the throttle lever back here, you got to make sure that when you put this thing in, you hook it in the right way. So it just goes in. It's hard to see. It's going to be hard to see with the camera, but you get it down in there and you hook it onto throttle linkage there. So that's what we're on. And all I did is put it in and twist it. All right, so let's get the cover. Now there is something we're going to have to do with the cover because because this carburetor has the two different screws on it, the high and low, which I'm going to check those, see where they're set at before I put this on. But we're going to have to open up this this hole right there, and you can see where the hole is. There's actually an imprint, if you can see. You can get it to focus in. It's going to be hard, but right next to it is another kind of indentation. So I'm going to put you guys on hold just a minute. I'm going to drill that out so that we have our secondary hole. Ooh, running everywhere here. Alright, so I'm going to put this over the top. Just make sure you don't get this throttle linkage caught up, because it'll get caught underneath when you're trying to get it into place. Gotta get everything repositioned. Make sure they're all where they're supposed to be here, and thread it in good. Alright, so to get our throttle cable back on, our throttle linkage, we're going to squeeze the trigger a little bit. I'm not sure you guys are going to be able to see it, but basically I'm just squeezing the trigger a little bit so I can get it in the right place. And then where it snaps back in, you'll be able to see it when you have a light and you're doing it yourself. And then just push it in until it clicks in. Okay? And we're back in action. Alright. So now what I did, guys, is I left the I went ahead and left the settings as they were, as they came from, the eBay store, which were the high screw was at 4 turns out, and the low screw is at 3 3/4 turns out. And if you guys know and you wrench on these at all, you know you usually start at 1.5 turns. So let's just see how it does with the settings that they sent it with. All right, I'm going to use their China plug too, just to see. All right, China plug gap is about right. So let's get this popped in there. All right, so this is the first to start with. This I'm going to give it a couple slow pulls, and I got the decompression on there. I'm going to give it a couple slow pulls just to get some fuel in it. And I'm going to start it, see what happens. All right, there's our first pop, so we're going to take the choke halfway off. Alright guys, so that wasn't too bad. I mean, that was the stock settings that came with that carburetor from the kit. You guys saw the first pulls and the first start. And after a couple pulls to get it filled with fuel, it started up and idled and everything, and the response wasn't too bad either. So I'm sure I can fine tune it, make it even a little bit better, but those are with the stock settings, and that was what the low screw was 3 3/4 turns out, and the high screw was at 4 turns out. So, you know, those are not the normal, you know, adjustments for those screws, but seemed to work fine. I'll fine tune it a little bit, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like with, you know, and how it started right out of the box, and that's pretty good because the other carburetor was just, it was toast. So, okay guys, so like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to be alerted for more videos. And until next time guys, this is TEPCO Cycle Repair.